Lou Thesz faithfully defended his World Heavyweight Championship.
Rogers strut. Kowalski's got him right where he wants him.
Dory Funk Jr. wanting that World Heavyweight Championship.
10 pounds of pure gold.
Simon Felder's Dusty Rhodes has just become the World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion.
Presenting the greatest organization in wrestling history.
We always deliver on our promises at the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah, but pretty hard, and look at what are you going to work now? Oh!
Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Thank you for joining me once again for another episode of NWA The Dynasty. We had a great pay-per-view. I have little flubs here and there, just the tiniest bit of problems, but where we kind of put an angle in the wrong spot. But overall, I think it came out pretty good. Is it the best show that we've done? Certainly not. I mean, we would have to look at the... where would I look at that here? That's TV. 60. So, you know, if we look back at our show history here and took a look, I mean, certainly not like the greatest thing that we've ever put out by any stretch of the imagination, but I think overall it was a pretty good show. Really good main event. Some good angles. You know, overall top to bottom, pretty solid. That was also our last use, correctly this time, of fight for our broadcaster. So now it's come to the decision of what do we do? So we're on Fight TV now. That's pretty good for us. It's going to be a bit of a better spot than IWTV, which expires tomorrow. I think it's time to get a little risky. So I think what we do here is we'll reset just to see who will negotiate with us. It's going to be basically the same. I think we stick with Fight for our broadcasting for pay-per-views. We're going to start a new deal. I think we could do 3 months again. I think it's fine. They're willing to give us early evening. I think it's the only time they're willing to give us. But that's a huge bump up from what we've been doing in Graveyard. But we don't want... So early evenings like 6 o'clock or something like that. It's not really prime pay-per-view hours, but it would be a specific period of time that people would be looking at. So if people, I mean, this is not really realistic because obviously it's a pay-per-view, so it's not like people are going to, move around. But there's going to be a bit of a demand to it versus an on-demand, where it's like, well, it's there. Now we're going to have a time slot. We're going to start at this time, and you're going to see us. Now that's going to involve having to pay for it. So we also want to see how much we can get out of them, which is not a lot. It's about 40%. 40%, and we have to pay $7,500. I think it's worth it. We're going to do it for 3 months. If it's a disaster, it's a disaster. I don't think it will be. I think it's actually going to give us a big financial boon because I think we'll get more eyeballs on the show. So that is the plan here. I like this plan a lot. I think there's a little bit of a risk, but I don't think it's that risky. And I think this is a good deal for us. So we're going to go ahead and go through with it. So we have that. We're now going to jump to Fight TV for our shows. Everything else like that going on, we're golden. Our next pay-per-view is actually the Crockett Cup. So we have people in the wings waiting to join that. We're going to do an 8-team tournament for that, which I'll reveal shortly. Hopefully, everybody. I've put contracts out. We're going to do half and half. So half of the teams are NWA people, half the teams are not. Some of those people may stay and become NWA people. Some may not. And we'll reveal those teams hopefully later. But we have 5 weeks until the show, so we have plenty of time to get those matches done. Which was that? It's like 12 matches, I think. So, I'm not too concerned about it, but that's sort of the game plan right now. So with that said, let's go ahead, let's get to the next show and see what is in store on us for Worldwide. All right, and we ran right into Worldwide, which means I will not be able to announce the tournament yet officially because we don't have everybody signed yet, so things could change. That's always a little scary, but we didn't have enough time to book everybody. That's fine because it's only an 8-team tournament, so the 4 weeks plus the pay-per-view is more than enough time to book the entire thing very easily. Honest, to be quite truthful, shouldn't have an issue whatsoever. So I'm not going to announce them until they're all set in stone and I have the contracts ready. But I do have all the names ready. So it's going to be 4 teams from the NWA, 4 teams from outside the NWA competing. The winner gets a shot at the title. So, the title shot won't necessarily be... we'll have to see. I originally wanted the title shot at the actual pay-per-view. So, but we might not be able to do that depending on the timing. We'll see. We'll see how it works out, actually. It might end up being okay. I'll play it out. But that's sort of the plan right now. Let's go ahead and absent workers, adjust our ref. We will open form. We're going to let some people, they're irritated after being left off the card. That's fine. Not a huge deal. And, of course, we're going to go back to our wonderful studios, our actual, not this one. I always forget where we put it. There it is. I should have put the naming similar, but I could always fix that, actually. So we have a capacity of 300 people. We are looking at 268 fans. Sounds good to me. Go ahead and book that. And I think that's it. So nothing else, no backstage incidents. We're just ready to go. So let's go ahead. Let's check out the fallout from Cody Mania, and let's get to it. I'll catch you guys on the flip. All right, everybody, we are back for a new episode of Worldwide. We got a pretty good show. I don't know how it's going to do. We have some riskier elements to the show. We're trying to showcase some of our undercard here, so it's very possible that this does not do very well. We'll see. I still think overall it'll do okay, but it's definitely going to be weaker than some of our other shows, and I'm fine with that. So going into that, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have in store for Worldwide. So this show is packed to the brim. So much so that I couldn't even get some of the little story segments that I just wanted a minute for. Which is fine, because we're doing a whole bunch of new stuff and starting some new storylines. Some of them aren't even officially started yet. We probably won't be able to start them officially until next week, but we're kind of planting the seeds for them here. We're not planting the seeds for that, though, in this pre-show, because we were just giving Mance Warner a win against Aaron Solo in a quick 9-minute, 56-second match, and does well. Mance has a 53, Aaron has a 42, just trying to get Mance's momentum up a little bit. He's cooled down a little bit. He has a storyline that's sort of on the back burner with Axel, and I kind of want to bring that back, but I kind of need to give Mance a little bit of momentum in the meantime. So giving him a pre-show match seemed like that would make sense. I'm happy with that. Same situation. I just don't want Eddie to be upset. I don't have anything for him right now specifically. I do, but just not like today. So gave him a pre-show match with Outlaw Inc. Had him fight the Midnight Heat. This match is actually pretty okay. Most of that's Eddie here. Ricky Gibson seems really off his game, which, it's a 36, still not that bad. These guys are kind of our jobbers here that we pulled from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and again, don't really have a story for them, but they're fodder and they're doing what they need to do here. This match gets a 56. And Eddie looked good out there. So that's really what we want overall. All right, we start to show off proper with the aftermath, we could say, of what happened at our pay-per-view for Cody Mania. Obviously, Jacob Fatu and family showed up. We had the True Bloodline dominant showing up here, and they come out to address the fans. Jacob Fatu having gold around his shoulder with the television championship, a accolade that he was going for originally, but lost in a tournament. Now having quickly usurped the person that beat him to retain it here. And yeah, it's a pretty good promo. It does a 50, like not going to be the hottest here, but we also have a variety of people out here, so that's kind of to be expected. But he brings out the full contingent of the Bloodline. He addresses the audience, and he does so by saying one word. He just says, imposters. And the crowd's like, what? And he kind of follows up, that's what some people in this family are. We are a proud lineage of fighters. We were bred for this. We live for this. And many of us died for this. There are some in this family turn their back on its true way. They hunt for fame and they hunt for fortune. Their hands are soft from years of light work. They're pampered and groomed to rule. Not us. Not here. Not me. I am the High Chief of the Hood. This is the true family. Out here, we were born with nothing. We were destined for nothing. And many of us die with nothing. We don't have some guiding hand on our side from some rich white savior to pick us out of a mediocre football career into greatness. We have no movies to run off to when things get tough. We do this day in, day out. Well, it's time for a revolution. And this belt, this is just the beginning. Greatness awaits this family. And nothing will stop it anymore. The Fatu calling out shots to, let's say, other companies, saying that members of his family abandoned the true side of the family. They were pampered, they were picked and groomed to be who they were, while others in the family had to hunt and strive for the little morsels that they got, and that he's bringing everybody together to truly install his dominance. He sees that television title as just the beginning of it all. Good segment, giving good motivation for this obvious ripoff of the Bloodline WWE, as we kind of build a separate but legally distinct sort of brand to it here, led by, of course, the High Chief, Jacob Fatu. This got to show off to a strong start. It got the crowd hotter, and then it's only going to get hotter from here, because we pop off with Cody. What happened here? Improvised poorly. Wow. Cody can't help but interrupt a good monologue. And he comes out, his pyro's going, he walks down to the ring, he gets slowly into the ring, grabs a microphone, squares up to Fatu. They both stand there, both having shoulders draped by a different title. And Cody speaks into his microphone and he says, "Oh, you didn't think I'd let you come into my ring," and drone on and on about how other people in your family are more popular and better looking and more successful than you. Did you? You need to understand something, Jacob. You got your little rogues gallery here. That's fine. You want a piece of the NWA? That's fine. You can have your fiefdom, and it can be where it belongs, on the undercard. Because there's only one table to sit at the head of, and you're not even at it. In my company, Daddy eats first. The two squabble, obviously going back and forth a bit, until it's clear that a challenge is set, and we have a main event for tonight. Cody and his Dynasty versus the True Bloodline. So this does pretty well. Uncle Fatu helped during the segment here. Got the crowd hotter. Cody and Jacob kind of struggling, actually, with dialogue, which is pretty surprising. But overall, still got a 62, so can't complain about that too much. What I can't complain about is the poor performance of this match. We're trying to make Ricky Knight something. Trying to help him out here. And we had good reactions going into this match. We had Butcher versus Ricky Knight. Ricky Knight defeats the Butcher in a fast roll-up. This is a problem. I have a big plan for Ricky Knight, and maybe we can get him there. But I need him there soon. I need him there really soon. And this performance is concerning to me at a 24. I thought maybe we could get him at that, like a 40. Now, granted, he's not really done much with us yet, and maybe some of that comes with popularity. This is a 39. This is a really bad match. This is really concerning to me. But Ricky gets a big win here. Afterwards, we have a little celebration where he kind of just celebrates a surprise upset victory. It's kind of interesting that despite me forgetting to put a script on him, he did well improvising. Unfortunately, it's still only a 38. We're going to have to work hard quickly to get Ricky where he needs to be. Who doesn't need to be anywhere is Allison K, who's been a fantastic women's champion for us. She puts on a really great promo here at a 58. She comes out to the ring and she says she's been completely disillusioned by the quality of the competition in the NWA. She's concerned that nobody can beat her or even get close. And she's sick of issuing 10-minute challenges to find worthy competitors. She says at this time she talked to Dustin in the back and said, just issue a 10-woman battle royal tonight. She'll face the winner of it. But she's getting sick of the lack of competition. So we have a 10-woman battle royal tonight. Royal Rumble style rules. One comes in at a time kind of situation. So winner of that will face Allison K. We have another really bad match. Zilla here does not do very well. Debuting Zilla Fatu had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. I need to watch his first match. I've added him in to the save. I need to see where he's really at because he is brand new and debuting. Because I may tweak his settings a little bit to perform a little bit better. I know he's really green. Literally he just had his first match in real life 2 weeks ago. So I'm not expecting a lot, but I need to tweak him to see where he fits. So let me know what kind of rating you think if you've watched his match already. Where you think he probably should sit. Whether you feel like he's above average for a debut or under average or just right. Obviously, he's part of a posse here. We're going to give him matches and wins and try to build him up. Still, though, pretty disappointed at a 25, I will say. But he has a quick defeat of Leland Race here in 8 minutes. This show's going to be scored very poorly because this is very much a undercard highlight show. This is going to be brutal. I'm really terrified about how low this score is going to be tonight. Thankfully, Kevin Steen is here to bring it up a little bit. In a backstage promo, he cuts in a parking lot about Remy Zane. and he is picking splinters still out of his arm after a brutal drop on a pile of tables in the main event of Cody Mania. And Steen addresses Remy. He goes, yeah, these are still here from last week, Remy, these splinters. When you put me through a table and you cost me my title shot. But I can't say I've been surprised by that, because you've been honestly doing that to me your entire career. Holding me back. Forcing me to take detours on the limited time I have left. Detours away from what should be rightfully mine. Honestly, it's the hate I have is unimaginable. The hate I have for you inside for all these years that you've been a splinter in my arm. Well, the weirdest thing is that hate is only dwarfed by the love I feel for you as a brother. But brothers fight. Brothers have to learn their place. And those fights can get vicious. And I am going to get vicious with you, Remy, so that you understand your place and what you've done. So Steen kind of showing complicated feelings for Remy, which we've always known as the case, but he still feels that his association with him has brought him down, and he kind of needs to knock the sense into Remy here. Remy, I'm sure, disagrees, but obviously we're moving into a feud between the two of them specifically. As until Remy is gone and out of the scene, Steen can't focus on the title that he wants, so he's going to need to kind of push him away. And of course, we start the storyline of destined to do this forever. This is a fantastic segment. Doesn't deserve to be on this show that is going to have such a miserable rating. You know what actually was surprisingly good and better than the other two matches is Lance Anoa'i and QT Marshall. Lance defeated QT Marshall in 10 minutes. We have a confusing heel face divide because Uncle Fatu is out there. Lance, though, is a good guy. Bloodline seem to be bad guys. But Fatu's out there. There's a reason for that because, Lance is going to have a storyline here going forward. But in the meantime, he beat QT Marshall, even Wild Samoan Splash, and looked good out there, actually. The 36 is not bad for an undercard guy. I think this match is pretty good. Another match that's okay is Colt Cabana defeating Matthias Breeze of the Smoking Aces in 7 minutes. This is a comedy match. This is they have great chemistry. They played it up nicely. We weren't going to get something great because it's a comedy match, so that's fine. But honestly, both guys are really solid in the ring. Like, this could have been a 45 and been pretty solid. We need to give him a breather, though. Keep the crowd cool. Colt's been having a hot streak lately of winning pretty good matches, and he does so here with Inverted Boston Crab. Unfortunately, the lights come out again. The lights dim once more on Colt Cabana, but as they come on, finally something emerges. It's not a technical glitch. It's Aaron Stevens, his former tag partner, looking a little different, dressed a little differently, almost dressed like a preacher. Got a hat on, a black brownish trench, and he looks like an old-time preacher of sort. He's holding a large book, a big tome, one that he had found weeks ago. Colt also feels a sense of warm air on his neck. Feels like he's still surrounded by darkness, even though the lights are back on. That confusion quickly is dispelled as he turns around to meet a big hand across his throat. Black Tarus stands behind him, looming over, and quickly giving him a vicious choke slam before looking up at Aaron, gives him a nod. and then proceeds to start to brutalize him, picking him up, giving him boring spears, stomping on him repeatedly, throwing him around. The bell is rung repeatedly, and staff have to come out to try to break it up. That leads to the staff being also ragdolled around the ring as Tarus just starts tossing people around. It doesn't seem like anything can stop Tarus at this point. He runs through them all, but stops suddenly, mid-motion, literally mid-fist to a staff member's face as Aaron just silently moves a motion of his hand up in the air as like a stop, and Tarus is compelled by Aaron to stop. He does so silently until turning to Aaron, walking up the ramp, and the two walking away. Something has changed in Aaron and found a new ally in Black Tarus, and obviously out to get Colt Cabana here. Very good segment. We continue the No Laughing Matter storyline, and boys, I think we got the beginning of a cult. Don't tell nobody, but I think I got my cult storyline. You knew it was going to happen. But we have Aaron here with the book. What is the book? How has Tarus joined him? More to come, obviously. But very excited to start this guy. We also have our Battle Royal, and our final entrant in the Battle Royal is Jamie Hayter, who has been kind of away for a while after her loss. She comes back to a big pop. Well, not that big. It's only a 45, but okay pop. And she's in the match. The match itself is pretty okay. It's 53. Decent match. Jamie Hayter wins the Battle Royal. Final four are Ramona Riot, Kylie Ray, Thunder Rosa. Ramona Riot being the final elimination. Thunder Rosa getting the most eliminations over the course of the match. We also had just some jobber because I just needed to fill it out. So overall, pretty okay. This match wasn't going to be something that was going to be great. We have a little storyline playoffs with Delilah in there. Kind of building some stuff up with it. But Jamie Hayter wins the challenge, wins the tournament. It's going to be facing, or not the tournament, the Battle Royal, going to be facing Allison K at some point. Maybe the next pay-per-view, maybe tomorrow. We don't know. We haven't really announced anything yet, but she is the challenger. She's getting round 2 here to come at her. So, big one there. Obviously, afterwards, Hayter excited, celebrating her win. Allison K coming out, squaring up, and taunting her by holding the title up. Ready for round 2 for Jamie Hayter to finish the story. And in our main event, yeah, it doesn't do that great. It's actually better than I thought it was going to be. But holy crap, I need to fix Journey's in-ring performance. Another guy I think I had to add to it or something, but that's way off. I'll have to do some work in between behind the scenes to fix that. But he should be in like the low 40s. He should be about around where Zach is. He's not great. He's not bad. Juicy, probably where he needs to be. But concerning. We'll have to fix that, but we will fix that. Cody Rhodes, Roy Knight, and Zach Knight, members of the Dynasty, versus the True Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, Journey Fatu, and Juicy. Decent match. It's 46. The True Bloodline defeat the Dynasty. Jacob Fatu is able to submit Roy Knight. Cody Rhodes, of course, head and shoulders above everybody else. But, Jacob Fatu not far behind. Cody had a 76. Jacob had a 65. So I just need to fix Journey a little bit. Maybe up Juicy a little bit as well. But overall, not too bad. Got the crowd hotter. Cody stood out a lot here, which is not to be surprising here for us. We kind of expected Cody as our champion to really look good. Fortunately, though, Dynasty lose and True Bloodline are a more cohesive unit. Afterwards, we have a segment of pure chaos that ended up doing pretty poorly because Roy Knight looked underwhelming and Journey also got lost out there. But the Bloodline stand tall over Cody's Dynasty. There's fire in Cody's eyes. But honestly, it's not towards Jacob as much as it is towards Roy. He's looking pissed off at the order. He's looking back. He's kind of backed into a corner. He grabbed his belt. And he kind of slumped to the corner. He got taken, to the ringer by Fatu. But really, it was the failings of the order that cost him this match more than anything else. And, he's tired. He's stuck in there. Fatu kind of backs him further into the corner, kind of leaning down there. His brother Journey by his side. Juicy kind of knocked out during the match, is kind of nowhere to be seen. But Jacob grins and kind of squats down to look at Cody in the eyes. He's got his eyes set more on than just the television title. He holds his title up in the hands before looking down at Cody's side. Cody had grabbed the belt at some point during the match to try to smash somebody, but it didn't work. And he kind of accepted the world's title as well. So you got Fatu holding the world's title in left hand, the TV title in the right hand, and looking at Cody, and possibly ready to kind of hit him with the belts or beat him up. He's grinning. That grin, though, is cut short as a unlikely interference comes in. Ricky Starks and Nick Aldis come to Cody's aid, sort of. They're here to attack the Dynasty. Sorry, not the Dynasty. They're here to attack the Bloodline, obviously. They attack Jacob. They attack Journey. They start beating the crap out of each other. It gives time for Cody and the Order to slink off during the distraction. Roy tries to kind of check on Cody, touch his shoulder. It's like, hey, are you okay? Cody, kind of does that sort of arm sweep where he kind of knocks him away real fast, pushes him aside, doesn't want anything to do with the two of them, and just walks up the ramp alone, kind of looking upset with the Order and their performance in the match. Probably thought that he would be able to quickly kind of dispel this insurgency in his NWA, but instead Fatu kind of showed that his bloodline is stronger than Cody's assembled goons, and I think Cody knows it. So, he's panicked, he's upset, but Ricky and Nick Aldis, though, actually get the better of Jacob and Journey in the ring. Now, granted, Jacob and Journey are beat up and sore in this main event, but Ricky stands tall, Nick stands at his side as a friend, and Ricky grabs a television title and holds it back up, looking at it again. Ricky is not done with Jacob. Jacob's not done with Cody. Jacob also is unfortunately can't be done with Ricky yet. So kind of a interesting dynamic building here as we end the show. Unfortunately, some weakness from the other participants here, giving us a 47. Yeah, the show's not going to be rated great. Yeah, 47. Fatu was used too much. So was Juicy. We still increased our popularity. We still did okay, but this is definitely a weaker show. We are planting seeds for things that we wanted to do, so I'm willing to take that, but kind of a bummer. But there's some cool storylines building, and that's what's important. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'll live with the 47. All right. I think we ultimately probably had a good show, right? Show was excellent, so show went down well. It wasn't necessarily to our standards, but it did what we needed it to do, and that's all that matters. I think overall, pretty good. Brandy Rhodes' opinion says, juicy, it's money. Strap a rocket to this kid. Yeah, I'm going to definitely trust what Brandy says. Overall, they've got 77,000 viewers. Should be pretty good shape here. Yeah, it's not bad, actually. Looking pretty good. We're getting more broadcast revenue than we ever did. So definitely a good upgrade for us. Do have some morale issues. That's fine. But overall, a pretty good show. We're just going to need to get our tournament going, which hopefully will have the remaining rosters, I'm hoping, are in these decisions that you're not going to see till next week as we set up and finalize our tournament bracket. But that is it for me today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time for another episode of NWA, the Dynasty.